Today we're going to go over two important aspects of submitting your game to the Meta Store. This is specifically for VR developers. First, we're going to go over organization, and then second, we're going to go over the submission. The main thing to do first is to get it done ASAP. Don't wait until you have a game ready to launch to do these things. That sometimes it might take a while, especially if you're outside the US. And if you are not wanting to do this stuff, that is one more reason to get in touch with a publisher and have them go over. As you can tell here, this is my business, but the Click Games is a publisher, and they have Monkey Doo because they are the publishers for that game. And so they took care of all that. And so they have already all these things set up for you. That's one of the good things about having a publisher, is that you don't have to worry about all these legalities. Most of these items are just checking checkboxes, submitting forms, but all these should be easy if you have a business registered in your name and you have all the information. You need a tax ID number and letter of certification for your company. Anytime you have any problems or tasks that you need to take care of from Meta, they'll be in here. The action required, if there's something that needs to be resolved, if in case you have problems, usually they're here. So here you can see my organization is verified. Most of the stuff is just check boxes, pretty straightforward if you have a business. Nothing out of the ordinary. And you'll notice that I have this 2023, and you'll see my apps. I have these apps that are not in the store. They're all tentative. I haven't published anything under my name on this specifically. Okay, so you can get this done before you even finish your game. Okay, I suggest you do it ASAP so you don't run into problems. Okay, and if you do run into problems, you can do this on the side while doing your game, right? So that way you're not stressed out about waiting for a response from Meta, and you can take it easy, because sometimes Meta might be super busy and it might take a week to respond, and so you're going back and forth week after week, and it might be a month or two before you get your problem resolved. And sometimes this dashboard does not work because either a developer goofed up or something happened that wasn't QA right, whatever the reason. Sometimes even tabs or different buttons don't work. So my suggestion again is get it done fast. Then payment information. This one might take a while, especially outside the country, because of you need a bank. I have everything set up and I have my business bank account and my information all set up, verified, and it works. Now I can officially get paid and I can make money from my games. I'm ready. Don't wait until you have to publish. It's pretty straightforward. If you do your business way early and you don't fill this out, you might have to go back and find your papers. So make sure whenever you register your business that you have that paperwork saved somewhere important so that you can come back to it when you need it. And if you have problems or if you have questions, I'm very approachable. I have a school community where I help developers one on one. The next section will be on submission. That's something that you can get started early on. And I usually suggest to use Canva. Canva is really nice. Or if you have Photoshop, you want to set up, there's a lot of different size on the submission page. We'll go work backwards. In assets, you'll have a lot of different sizes. So in here you see I resized it, so I should name, I think I have it named differently, but there's all kinds of sizes. So Canva allows you to resize really fast. And so this is me just dropping in all these different formats really fast to get so that you can see, right, that it can be the same image in Canva. You can just resize it really quick and upload them. So this is just like a proof of concept. This is not like the final result. It's just me using AI to create an image and just do all the sizing so that you could see. So don't wait till the end again to do all these. Just be aware that if you tackle maybe one a week, one of these sections a week, it'll be fine. Super straightforward. Okay, so submission. You have your email and the notes for the submission. And in here, I get a warning about my submission. This only happens when you have a build ready. And I'll show you when I get to the build. But this has to do with your manifest file. And I have other videos that go in detail about the manifest file, but you have to basically understand why these are happening. Either it is because you've installed a plugin that will automatically add that permission. Unity adds the permissions based on the needs of the project. And sometimes there's things in the projects that you are actually not using. So, but you can retract some of these, or you can remove the plugin if you're not using it, or just be aware of what you really do need. So there's that. Then in pricing, you have, this is for once it's released, how do you want to set up your page? Whether the pre-order and the coming soon usually have to do with full releases. And what I mean by full release, I mean that it's not early access. If it's not early access and you have, for example, multiple releases like PlayStation, Pico, and other VR platforms, Steam, releasing all at the same time, this allows you to do a pre-order or a coming soon so people can wish list it and they can start getting ready and hyped for a launch date if you're doing that. But most of the time you're gonna do full release and you can change when you upload the update or when you actually release it. But this is just how it looks store or how it's set up. And then the price of how much you want to charge for your app, for your game. You save changes, move on, build. And this is, I'm gonna show you, or I'll try to cut to a clip. I did this live, but I had to re-record. In release channels, you will see that you can change and upload a build. So in here, let me see. I go to Monkey Wizards and I can upload a build. And then once I upload it, it will show up in here. And in here, I can change the build. In order for it to appear in your submissions, you have to have the build in here. So I changed it to the live. Once I do and hit submit, it's already there, so it doesn't matter. You will, and you can change the age group. The age group is crucial. Once you do all that, you can go back to the submission page and you'll have that in the build. You have build, you can select it here, okay? App metadata. So here's just all the specs, all the little technicalities. But the biggest thing to watch out for is these VRCs for publishing. In here, in the details, you have your privacy policy. This is one of the first things you're gonna upload to the Metastore. And I usually just do a Google Doc. And I went online to look for the privacy policy, what it looks like. You can also look, there's plenty of information. If something fails, they'll tell you, and they'll tell you which VRC it's not following. And then you can Google and see how what your wording needs to be. If you have money and you have a lawyer, or you have lawyers in specifically for this, you can pay someone to create a privacy policy, or you can just look it up. It's pretty simple, it's straightforward. And again, if you have questions about this, leave a comment or let's talk. That's why I have the Skool community to help people one-on-one with these things that are super simple once you do them, but it requires help sometimes. Content rating, once you submit this, if you have published on Steam or on Pico or somewhere before this, your game exists somewhere else, you'll already have one of these and you can add it here. Use existing or request new. And in here, it'll take you to the questionnaire and you fill this out and then it'll give you a certificate that you can then add. Use existing, and then you can give them the ID. And once you do that, you hit save changes and you're done. Okay. Again, Meta has done a pretty good job at doing the check marks to make sure you have everything ready. Okay. And then you can, once you're ready, And here it'll be, you can hit here, release app. And here you see your submission must be approved before it can be scheduled to release. So you have to submit it right here. Once you have all the check boxes, you can submit and then you can publish it. In the later videos, I will, and I will have a link in here once it's ready. We're going to talk about early access and what VRC checks Meta checks for early access versus full release. I published to the Meta store before, so I know what the QA team usually looks for and why they check certain things. So I'll go in detail about the VRCs that matter. So if you have anything that you questions about with pertaining to the Meta store and submissions, leave a comment below and I'll help you.